Hey there. So if you've ever wanted to speak English more confidently, in just normal everyday situations, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're about to walk through a super simple 4-step roadmap that's going to take all the guesswork out of having a great conversation. Let's jump in.
I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? You want to connect with people to really express yourself, but sometimes you just don't know where to start. And that is exactly what we're here to figure out today.
So this is our journey for the next few minutes. 4 simple steps. We'll kick things off with the absolute basics, then we'll get into talking about your day, sharing who you are, and finally, telling your own amazing stories. It's kind of like building a pyramid. You gotta lay a solid foundation first, and that's what we're doing right now.
Okay, let's dive into step 1, starting the conversation. Honestly, every single interaction, whether you're just grabbing a coffee or meeting someone brand new, it all starts right here. This is all about the fundamentals, just introducing yourself and saying what you need.
It really is that simple. It all boils down to who and where. Before you can have any kind of real chat, you've got to establish who you are. This isn't just a formality, It's the very first building block for making a real connection. So it starts with the most basic exchange imaginable. What's your name? My name is Rika. It seems almost too simple, but this is the key that unlocks everything else that's about to follow.
And what's the next logical step? Sharing where you're from. It just gives the other person a little context. My name is Rika. I'm from Brazil. See? Just like that, in 2 tiny sentences, you've already started to paint a picture of who you are.
Okay, so once you've done the basic intro, a lot of conversations get, practical. You need to be able to talk about what's around you. How do you find what you're looking for? How do you ask for help?
And this is where your English becomes a real, practical tool. A simple question like, where is the pharmacy, lets you navigate the world. And being able to answer clearly, the pharmacy is near the supermarket. That is confidence in action.
All right, on to step 2, structuring your day. Now that we have the absolute basics down, we can start talking about the things that really shape our lives, our daily routines, our jobs, and even practical stuff like time and money.
A simple question about your daily schedule can be a fantastic way to connect with someone. Talking about what time you wake up, it's a universal thing, right? It helps you find common ground with pretty much anyone.
And of course, one of the first things people love to ask is about your job. Being able to say, I am a teacher, or I work in marketing, is such a quick way to share a huge part of who you are and what you do.
This number here could represent anything, but it points to another really common topic, money. So for instance, if someone asks about the cost of living, you could say something like, I pay $1,000 a month for rent. Being comfortable with specific numbers like this, that's a huge step toward fluency.
Okay, now we're moving on to step 3, and this is where things get really fun. Sharing your personality. We're going beyond just facts and getting into opinions, feelings, and what you like. This is the difference between just talking and actually truly connecting with someone. Think about it. When someone asks, what's your hobby, it's really an invitation. They're basically asking, hey, tell me what you're passionate about. Your answer is your chance to show them what makes you, you. This is such a perfect example of how sharing what you like builds a bridge. You mention your favorite movie, and all of a sudden, you've given the other person a chance to relate. Maybe they love it too, maybe they hate it, or maybe they have a different favorite. That's how a simple exchange turns into a real conversation.
And now we've arrived at our final step, bringing it all together. This is where you get to combine who you are, what your day looks like, and your personality to describe things, explain your experiences, and share why you do what you do. This, my friends, is real storytelling.
A huge part of telling a story is just describing what you see. It's about using those action words, verbs, to narrate what's happening right now. You're literally painting a picture for someone with your words.
See how powerful that is? You're just observing and describing something simple like they are playing football. But in doing so, you're actively using English to engage with the world. You're narrating reality as it happens.
But the deepest, most meaningful conversations aren't just about what is happening, but why it happened. Explaining your choices and your motivations, That's what creates those conversations that you'll remember for a long time.
Just think about the power of a simple phrase like this one. Someone asks, "So why did you choose that career?" And you say something like this. Wow, you've gone way beyond the surface, and you're telling a much, much deeper story about what really drives you. So let's do a super quick recap of your new conversational toolkit. First, you introduce yourself. Then you build on that by describing your day. Then you make it personal by sharing your passions. And finally, you bring it all home by telling your stories. Every step builds on the last one, leading you to confident conversation. And that's it. That's the roadmap. You now have the 4 key steps to build that conversational confidence you've been looking for. So the only real question left is, what conversation are you going to start today? Go on, get out there and give it a shot.